Well, greetings, friends, and welcome back to Traveling Well. Here's the update. I'm actually going to put this up front so I can explain what happens next. So, my youngest son and I yesterday went up to Fort Mountain State Park, did about a 6-mile hike. And I want to show you that hike, and then he and I are going to talk a little bit. So, it was a great day, and my youngest son and I have a great relationship. He loves to hike. I love to hike, so we have this outdoors thing going on. Actually, as I've told him many times, he is my clone. My oldest son reminds me of my dad. My middle son reminds me a lot of my wife's dad. My youngest son, gosh, he's a whole lot like me. Really fascinating how that works out. Anyway, we had a great day. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful hike. Today is Sunday, and I preached at a different church in Rockmart, Georgia, Crossview. Any of you Crossview folks who are watching, greetings, and thank you again so much for the wonderful welcome I had today. It was a good day. And, God is good. I got 2 more weeks before school is out, so I'll be driving the bus for a couple more weeks. Then I'll be working, doing construction work with my son-in-law and his business. And then come fall, jump back into driving the bus, but I'm about to have a break from the 5 a.m. wake-up call, which I'm not too upset about. But ultimately, I think, it's been a really interesting season of understanding how God works. And like I said last time, this idea of being patient and trusting and having faith and waiting for God to move is a really important thing. And one of the things I love about hiking is the pace. Christopher and I were talking yesterday. You get out and you start walking, and you're walking, at the pace you can walk, and it's so much slower than driving in a car. Life becomes much, much more immediate and much slower when you're out hiking in a trail. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about it, is it causes you to slow down, lets your brain slow down, it lets everything around you slow down, and you can begin to absorb and appreciate the beauty that's around you. As you hike along, we saw waterfalls. There was one rhododendron that was in full bloom. The rest of them won't bloom out for another couple of weeks, probably 3 or 4 weeks before the rhododendrons are in bloom, because they're in deep shade. They don't get that much sunlight. But there was this one rhododendron, mountain laurel, that's and it was in a point where it got a lot of sunlight, and so it's in full bloom. You'll see that about halfway through the hike. That was amazing to see. Another thing that was really interesting is, I went up to Kahuti Trail a couple of weeks ago, where all these wildflowers in bloom. Very few wildflowers in bloom yesterday. Same area, northwest Georgia, but the wildflowers are pretty much done. I saw just a few of them along the way. I've got one little picture of a wildflower that I saw on the trail in the shade. There were a couple others in some of the overlooks. There were 3 overlooks that we hit yesterday in the 6-mile hike that we made, and that was really cool. Beautiful day. Anyway, all that to say, life is good, and God is certainly providing for us. He's taking care of us. He's meeting every need we have. Certainly life is challenging, but it's always challenging. And I think that's one of the things too that we have to learn to be comfortable with when we're talking about being patient and waiting on the Lord, is understanding that His timing is not our timing, and that He really is at work behind the scenes. He really is taking care of things, and we don't have to work real hard at making things happen, especially not spiritual things, because God's got a plan. So we can rest in that. We can take life day by day, moment by moment, appreciate what we have, enjoy the blessings of the moment, and that's really, at the end of the day, what matters the most. So that's where we are. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Again, the beautiful trail. You should get your Georgia State Park Pass if you live in Georgia, so you can go visit these state parks. It's kind of one of my goals for the year. We have our pass, and I would love to go visit every state park in the state just to see them and to tell you about them. But Fort Mountain, really, really cool. One other little thing about it, there's this cool fire tower. It's about 40 feet tall, built by the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, back in the 30s. It was part of Roosevelt's New Deal during the Depression. And my grandfather was actually part of the CCC. He was an accountant for a CCC troop. So, I have a real life connection to them. We saw some beautiful CCC work in Puerto Rico because they were all over, the United States, and Puerto Rico was a territory at that point in time. So everywhere you go, you'll see these beautiful things. Lake Winfield Scott in North Georgia is another place where there's CCC work. Check it out and learn about that. And it's just such a fascinating little snippet of history. And again, it connects me to my grandfather and to the life that he was living back in the 30s before World War II. And anyway, Fort Mountain State Park, a beautiful place. I really encourage you, if you're close by, go check it out. You will be impressed. Great place for a picnic, great place for a walk in the woods. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and God bless you. Till we meet again, travel well, enjoy the journey, and never doubt that you are deeply, deeply loved by the God that created you. You're here because He wanted you to be here. Never doubt it. See you soon.
All right.
So, we're out here in Fort Mountain on this beautiful trail. What's it called?
The Kahuti Trail.
Kahuti Trail, which I have no idea what that means. Probably this trail is going to hurt your knees. I think that's what it means.
Maybe.
Anyway, so I'm here with my son, and so why do you like to hike?
I like to hike because it's good for moments of reflection. It's sort of a very personal thing for me. It's a very private thing for me. And even if you're with somebody else, you know, if you're doing 6 to 8, 10 plus miles, there's going to be stretches of silence and moments of peace. And I think that with sort of the hustle and bustle of day-to-day life, it's important to have moments of maybe not clarity, but just
Right.
of stillness.
Yeah.
And even though you're moving and you're sweating and you're getting tired or whatever it is, while you're hiking, it's sort of like your brain can go on autopilot, your body's moving without much thought, and sort of frees up time for you to process things or to think about things you might not normally think about. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a very emotionally rewarding experience, and that's why I've done a lot of hiking.
Yep. So what's the best hike you ever did?
The best hike I've ever done was in Colorado, next to the Rocky Mountain National Park. I can't remember the name of the mountain if you put a gun to my head, but it was about, still don't know it, but it was about 10 miles altogether, and the altitude was near 8,000 feet above sea level, so it was really thin and difficult and very much a not an easy time.
It was
to
a
say.
strenuous
It was
hike.
very strenuous.
Right.
Yeah, expert difficulty,
Right.
if you will. But the view from the top was just,
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the feeling of reward from actually making it to the top was just as good. So that hike was awesome. What's the worst hike I've ever done? I'm glad you asked. The worst hike I've ever done is probably, we went to a state park in Georgia. I think it's called Fort Yargo or something like that. It's
Right.
near Athens.
Right.
And that place was just a dump. It was the worst state park I've ever been to. The hike was literally like next to a swamp,
Right.
not like a river or a
Not
lake,
pretty, but
a literal
stinky,
swamp, like a bog.
full swamp. Right.
And even in the fall, it was hot and boggy and swampy and muddy and nasty. And we did maybe a mile and said, never mind, let's turn around and go home. So that was a big disappointment. Definitely the worst I've ever done.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Well,
no problem.
I enjoy hiking with you.
Sure
So
do.
it's fun that I've got at least one kid who likes to go out and do this.
That's right.
Even though he's a lot faster than I am because
By quite a lot.
knees. Anyway,
That's right.
I love you.
Love you too.
See you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, greetings, fellow travelers, and welcome again to another exciting adventure with the Eclectic Monk. I sure hope you're enjoying these videos, and I hope that you'll take the moment to like them, to subscribe to the channel, to share these on social media and share it with your friends just by word of mouth. And what would really help me out is if you'd leave me a comment. Also, if you'd like to know more about what I'm doing, enjoy my podcast, check on my online store, different things, check out theeclecticmonk.com. And there you'll find all kind of other content and connections to other things that I've been doing for, I don't know, years. Anyway, I really do appreciate your support, and I hope that you'll continue to travel well with me. Till next time, God bless.